I see you. I feel every single one of you who's ever been left behind, replaced by someone they believed was better. That's the lie they told themselves, right? The whisper in their delusional little heads when they decided to walk away. But now they see the truth. Now they're drowning in regret. You see, there's something funny about people always on the hunt for something better they never realize when they already have the best. They're always searching for the next high, the next thrill, the next shiny distraction to fill the void in their souls. And while they're off chasing fantasies, they leave behind what's real. They leave behind you. That's the story, isn't it? They had the best right in front of them, and they threw it away thinking they could do better. And that's the part that stings the most, isn't it? You gave them everything. You poured your heart, soul, and love into that relationship. You stood by them when they were at their lowest, lifted them up, loved them even when they didn't deserve it. And for what? For them to walk away thinking someone else would give them more, be better than you. But here's the twist: they couldn't. And now they're left with nothing but regret. They had something extraordinary, something rare, and they let it slip right through their fingers. People like that, the ones who are never satisfied, they always think they can upgrade. They think life's an endless ladder, constantly looking for the next rung, the next person to make them happier, to elevate them to some illusion of fulfillment. They're living in a perpetual state of discontent, chasing something that's never enough. But here's the truth: they can't face it was never about you. It was always about them. Their inability to appreciate what they had. Their blindness to the rare and precious gift you were. You gave them your best, and they were too busy looking over your shoulder at the next person walking by to even notice. They left convinced they'd find someone better, someone who could give them more, make them feel more alive. But in their arrogance, in their selfishness, they never stopped to think about what they were walking away from. And now, after chasing what they thought they wanted, they're realizing the brutal truth: there is no one better than you. Sure, maybe they had fun at first. Maybe they found someone new, someone exciting. But that thrill, that spark, it's fading, peeling off like cheap paint. And now they're staring at the cold, hard truth: you can't replace the best with something better. Because the best doesn't come around every day. The best is rare. It's precious. And once it's gone, there's no getting it back. Now they're stuck with the realization that the person they chose can't live up to the standards you set, can't love them the way you did, can't fill the space you left behind. And it's eating them alive, bit by bit, because deep down they know they made a mistake. That regret, that slow, gnawing realization that they let the best thing in their life slip away, that's the sweetest justice, isn't it? They thought they could move on, thought they could do better, but all they've done is set themselves up for a lifetime of disappointment. Because once you've had the best, once you've experienced what it's like to be with someone who truly sees you, who gives everything, anything less is hollow. And now they're stuck with that hollow feeling, that emptiness. In their quiet moments when they're alone with their thoughts, they're haunted by the knowledge that they let something extraordinary slip away. They let you slip away. But here's the beauty of it: you've moved on. You've grown. You've healed. You've come to realize that their leaving had nothing to do with your worth. It wasn't because you weren't enough. It wasn't because you didn't love them the right way. No, it was because they didn't know how to handle someone like you. They didn't know how to appreciate someone who gave without asking, who loved without conditions, who stood by them without playing games. So let them sit in their regret. Let them feel the weight of their choices. Let them live with the consequences of their selfishness, their arrogance, their blindness. And you keep moving forward. You keep shining. You're free now, free from their lies, their games, their inability to appreciate what they had. Free to live your life on your own terms, because you were always enough. You were more than enough. They were the ones who couldn't handle it. And now they're stuck chasing something they'll never find, because they already had the best and they let it slip away. And as they chase, as they keep running in circles, always looking for the next person, the next thrill, the next empty promise of fulfillment, they'll come to realize something painful: nothing, and no one will ever compare to you. You see, people like that, they live in a fantasy. A delusion where they believe the grass is always greener on the other side. But here's the truth: they're watering nothing but weeds. They spend their lives grasping at illusions, trying to fill a void that no one else can fill, because the problem was never external. It was always inside them. They'll keep repeating the same cycle, always trying to find someone to match what you gave them, but they never will. Every person they meet will pale in comparison. Every relationship they step into will feel shallow, hollow, because after experiencing the depth of your love, the way you cared for them, nothing else will measure up. They'll search for that feeling again, that sense of security, that warmth, but it's gone. It's gone because it was never about finding someone else, it was about appreciating what they had when they had it. But here's the thing, they won't admit that. Not to themselves, not to anyone else. They'll pretend they're happy. They'll put on a show for the world, smiling in pictures, laughing at parties, acting as if they've moved on. But in the quiet moments, in the dead of night when the world is still, that's when the regret hits the hardest. That's when they're haunted by the ghost of what they lost. Because deep down, they know they had something rare. They had someone who truly loved them, someone who saw them, someone who gave them everything. And they threw it away. And now, no matter how hard they try, they can't undo it. They can't go back. The door is closed. The chapter is over. And you're not waiting anymore. You're not sitting around hoping they come back, hoping they realize their mistake. No, you've stepped into a new light, a brighter one. You've found your strength, your power, and now you're shining in ways they never imagined you could. What they didn't realize is that walking away didn't break you, it built you. It made you stronger, wiser, more resilient. You're not the same person they left behind. You've grown. You've grown. You've evolved. And now, they can't touch you. They'll watch from a distance as you rise, and that will be their punishment. That will be the consequence of their arrogance, the knowledge that you're thriving, that you've become someone even greater than the person they walked away from. So let them live in their regret. Let them chase their fantasies, their illusions, their empty promises. You've outgrown them. You've outgrown the smallness of their world. And now, as they're stuck in the past, you're walking into a future that's filled with possibilities. You're stepping into the fullness of who you are, unburdened by their lies, their insecurities, their inability to recognize your worth. And that, right there, is the sweetest victory. Knowing that while they're haunted by what they lost, you're free. Free to live, free to live, free to love, free to become everything they never had the vision to see. And in the end, that's what truly matters, not their regret, not their sorrow, but your freedom. Because now, nothing can hold you back. You were always enough. You were always the best. And now it's your time to shine.